The eccentric old Scot knew it too. From the magnificent heights of Skibo Castle, he had viewed first with amusement and then with resentment the attempts of Morgan's smaller companies to cut into his business. When the attempts became too bold, Carneade's temper was translated into anger and retaliation. He decided to duplicate every mill owned by his rivals. Hitherto, he hadn't been interested in wire, pipe, hoops, or sheet. Instead, he was content to sell such companies the raw steel and let them work it into whatever shape they wanted. Now with Schwab as his chief and able lieutenant, he planned to drive his enemies to the wall. So it was that in the speech of Charles M. Schwab, Morgan saw the answer to his problem of combination. A trust without Carneade's giant of them all would be no trust at all, a plum pudding, as one writer said, without the plums. Schwab's speech on the night of December 12, 1900, undoubtedly carried the inference, though not the pledge, that the vast Carnegie enterprise could be brought under Morgan tent. He talked of the world of future steel. He talked of the world future for steel, and then he talked of the recognition for efficiency, of the specialization of scrapping of unsuccessful mills, and concentration of effort on the flourishing properties of economies in the ore traffic and that of the economies in the overhead and administrative departments of capturing foreign markets. More than that, he told the business personnel over there, among them wherein there lay the errors of their customary piracy, the purpose inferred had been to create monopolies, raise prices, pay themselves fat dividends out of privileges. Schwab condemned the system in his heartiest manner. The short-sightedness of such a policy, he told in hearers, lay in the fact that is restricted in the market in an era when everything cried for expansion. By cheapening the cost of steel, he argued, an ever-expanding market would be created. More uses for steel would be devised, and a goodly portion for the world trade could be captured. Actually, though he did not know it, Schwab was an apostle of modern mass production. So the dinner at University Club came to an end. Morgan went home to think about Schwab's rosy prediction. Schwab went back to Pittsburgh to run the steel business for V. Andrew Carnegie, while Gary and the rest went back to their stock tickers to fiddle around in anticipation of the next move. It was not long coming. It took Morgan about 1 week to digest the feast of reason Schwab had placed before him. When he had assured himself that no financial indigestion was to result, he sent for Schwab and found that young man rather coy. Mr. Carnegie, Schwab indicated, might not like it if he found his trusted company president had been flirting with the Emperor of Wall Street, the street upon which Carnegie was resolved never to tread. Then it was suggested by John W. Gates to go between that if Schwab happened to be in Bellevue Hotel in Philadelphia, J.P. Morgan might also happen to be there. When Schwab arrived, however, Morgan was inconveniently ill at his New York home, and so on the elder man's pressing invitation, Schwab went to New York and presented himself at the door of Financier's Library. Well, this is how it went along.